supposed to be a clover. Huh. Not a very good one. Hey guys. So, mentioned beforehand I did the emery, so this was all going to be a part of another big whole thing. Well, this is it. So I made this bag, which is not my greatest work ever. I'm not even going to pretend like it was. I did not really design it the greatest, but however, it will function for what I needed to do. And the person that I made it for had me redesign it a little bit, like adding the zipper and some handles. Again, did not really think it through very well. I just kind of rushed into it and started sewing things together. And anyway, but it's still fully functional. It's still very stable. It'll work. That was the cat. Sorry, Gizzy. Anyways, so this is it. So what I'm doing, what I did here, is this is because in, as my friend calls this, the frozen tundra up here in the north, we are subject to blizzards sometimes. And I have had to drive through them, a couple of them myself. Thankfully, all my vehicles that I've had to driven in them were four-wheel drive. In fact, my current vehicle is absolutely amazing at driving through snow, so I'm a lot more confident, but I also haven't tested her out in 3 feet of snow on an undone road, so unplowed road. So, you know, that's also something I look forward to trying if we ever get snow this year, which we haven't yet. So this is to go in the car. Now, I always suggest that people have some sort of emergency preparedness bag type of thing. Mine is actually a backpack, which has a tent, has, no, actually my sleeping bag's in the camper, but it's got a tent. By tent, I mean it has a hammock, two-person hammock. Me and my dog used to disappear up in the mountains for a few days. Just take the hammock, me and him sleep very comfortably in that. Usually you also want to keep a blanket in your car in the winter here, because you never know if you get stranded in the cold, you still need to stay warm, even if your car doesn't start to keep you warm. So that is also something that is a good thing to have in the car. Now these are just normal, excuse me, this is just normal stuff that they already suggest. You want food, water, you know, enough stuff to keep you going until you can get off the road and back into safety, you know. So I made this little kit. This one's actually Danko's. Mine's, as I said, is a backpack, and it's not really specifically designed for winters or for blizzards, so I'm gonna have to modify mine a little bit too, but it's still gonna work just the same. So this one comes with a big thing. This is gonna be cooking water, which is why, you know, since I have a few things here in these MREs that require cooking, like the rice, the sorry, my brain is fried this morning, new sleeping pills, oatmeal, and then the mac and cheese. So some of these things require cooking. To cook, you need water. So that's cooking water. And oh, I see. MRE's already one in the bag. So obviously you want the MREs, so you have food, snacks, things to do. Danko's favorite water, kind of a water snob, so this is what he picks. So I picked a bunch of these, and I have a lot in here. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 11 waters. So this he's gonna buy. Plus he's getting 6 of these MREs up in here. So that's 6 days worth of food, because technically you can survive on one of these per day if you had to. If you're rationing and you want to make sure you can survive a little bit longer, you have this. So let's get these packed in here, because after this video it's getting zipped up and waiting for him to come pick it up. Okay, so drinking water, food, cooking water. Okay, so another thing you should always keep in your car, regardless of the season, is a first aid kit. So I'm putting one of these in here for him. I think he actually already has one, so I'll probably take that one out. Another thing that comes with this kit is obviously going to be cookware. So I got him this mesh kit here. It comes with a little rocket stove, or a little tiny stove. These things are cool. I actually have one of these myself that stays in my bag. Just open right up. You're going to put this on a little portable fire thing, click it in there, and then it also has an auto ignite, so it'll start the fire for you. Word of caution, if you do have one of these in your kit, you want to be mindful of the temperatures outside. The cold is fine, but you want to take this thing out of your car come summertime, because in really, really hot degree temperatures, this thing can become a bomb in your car. Quite a bit of fluid in here, and I've had this thing for years. I usually make my own fires. The smoke also keeps the bugs away, so usually when I do my hiking, I make actual fires and not use the camp stove as often. So, but I have used it. Anyways, so hot temperatures, you want to take this out of your car for that, because leaving this in your car creates a really bad fire hazard. Really, really hot temps, especially when you go to higher temp areas like, you know, Nevada, Southern California, stuff like that. It gets into 120s at times. Imagine that, plus inside your car, which becomes an oven, you now have a bomb. So always take this out of your car by that time, so to keep that in mind. But for the winter time, he should be okay. I can keep this in here with it, and he will have fuel if he does get stranded on the side of the road. He's stuck in a blizzard or something. He's got fuel. Also in a blizzard, you can also pull water from snow, so that's also a means for cooking and whatnot. And if you have to, if your only water source is snow and you have gravel around, it is honestly a better idea to run your snow through the gravel to pick up some minerals before you drink it. Otherwise you have what's basically distilled water, and distilled water is an empty void, basically. Distilled water would like to pull everything it can into itself. So if when you drink distilled water, it actually pulls a lot of vitamins and minerals out of your body as it passes through. It will hydrate you, but it'll also pull out some vital minerals that you want to keep in your body, especially if you're in a survival type of situation. Hence why he's got his own drinking water versus the distilled cooking water. So that is the thing that you might want to consider as well. So this kit also comes with some silverware. So all that silverware I vacuum packed is absolutely useless. But it has napkins, so you know, I guess that comes in handy. Anyway, so it comes with a whole mess of silverware. You got a knife, a spoon, a fork. And then a little ladle. Should be good if I had added some soup, but I'm a monster and I didn't. Also comes with some little bowls, so when you are cooking your food, you do have something to cook your food. Put your food in when you're cooking. And you need a little spoon when cooking as well. And who doesn't need a carabiner? And then of course you got the pan here and the pot here. And somewhere around there I put a lid. Here it is. And a lid that goes on top, so when you're cooking, that fits them both. So, and you can only cook one thing at a time, so it's not like you really need them both at the same time. Back in there. This is brand new, so I just bought this specifically for his kit. And if you do manage to be able to do dishes, you have a sponge. I'm not adding soap though because I'm cheap and I already spent enough money on this. That's not really why. I have no idea how all this went back together. And a cute little mesh bag. I will happily put some links to some of the stuff. Well, not really. I have the water bucks. I can put links to, and to this in the description in case anybody is interested in something like that, because it did actually come with the little camp stove, which is what I really liked the most because I needed both cookware and then I had to buy the camp stove, and the little stove part itself was like 15 bucks, and then this kit itself was only like 25. So I was like, well, seems like a better idea to just get the kit that I need with the stove portion that I needed as well. This bag might not be big enough. Okay. And then of course fuel. Alright, so another thing that I've added to his kit is an emergency Mylar blanket. I have checked everything because I've heard people say Mylar is highly flammable, and also if it burns it creates a toxic fume. I went through this package everywhere because I specifically bought these so that they could be used in case of fire. But they're Mylar, and Mylar is supposed to be highly flammable. Nowhere in the packaging anywhere did I find anywhere that this is flammable. So either they're lying and they're doing something really wrong that they should not be doing by not labeling something as flammable, or it's really not flammable. I have 3 of these and I might test one, just not today. If I do test it, I will let you guys know. I'll just do a short or something saying, hey look, it caught fire. Don't worry, I have face masks if that helps. But so emergency blanket, again, caught in a blizzard, you need to stay warm. This will help reflect your body heat back at you. My cat was jumping off the kayak onto her food thing, so it makes a thump noise all the time. It scares the crap out of me at 4 in the morning. Anyways, so yes, this will reflect your body heat back at you, which will help retain your heat so that you're less likely to go into hypothermia while you're stuck in a cold car. But the good thing about being stuck in a blizzard is if your car does get covered in snow, the snow itself will also act as an insulator to it. So you can literally heat your car up when you cook your food, and the snow will keep it insulated well enough to actually keep it somewhat warm for a fairly decent amount of time as well. I don't think that is very safe if you're stuck on the side of the road and you're waiting for them to clear the road, so you might want to kind of clear off your car if you can, but that's also an option as well. Just the laws of thermodynamics, I guess, kind of helps in this situation. So, I mean, if you're planning on trying to survive for a longer period of time in a car, that's how you want to do it, because that will keep you insulated in the winter. But you also need an exit in and out of the car, because this food's not going to last you for more than a few days. So thermal blanket goes into the kit as well. Now, not just for winter, but you know, if it's raining or something and he breaks his tire, gets a flat tire or something. I did also put in a emergency poncho, nice orange color, so that you can very easily be seen from the road, so you're less likely to be injured while you're on the road there. So emergency poncho is also a good idea to keep that handy. Now, it's not just for blizzard conditions, even though this is made specifically for blizzard conditions. That's what this kit is specific about. Just in case he does have to get out of the car, he has to try to make a fire out in the woods or whatever. I have this quick survive, lights anywhere type of fire, all that fun stuff. Technically, you could also use your camp stove to kind of light something to start a fire, though it's going to be pretty damp when it's snowing, so you also got to be careful of that. And Danko doesn't exactly have all the survival skills like I do, because this has kind of been a hobby of mine for a long time, just disappearing and surviving a little bit with only minimal supplies. Kind of my thing. Him, however, not so much. So he's going to need all the help he can get if he has to. So he's got this thing to help start fires, and in another coming video, there's also going to be a nice, fun chemistry project, involving eggshells that you guys are going to like. Goes along with something like this. So it's going to be a really fun project. I've never done it before, so it's going to be fun for all of us to learn it together. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Now this is something I also got him. I have one of these for me as well. In fact, this one's actually mine. Now this isn't like the greatest little thing you could get, but it's a little emergency survival card, which comes with a bunch of cool little things. So I'm going to pull this out. I will also link this one in the description because I think this one is just super neat. It came in a 2-pack. So he got one and I have one. This one's actually mine though, because all of these came individually packed and this one is all in one, so I played with it. Wah! Come on. Okay. So as you can see here, it's got this little saw here. It's got needles right here, a knife blade, a bunch of fishing hooks, little flashers for the fishing. Right here you can make little arrows if you need. More little flashers, a little fishing lure, that kind of thing. More saws, more needles, another knife, another arrowhead, more needles, looks like a button. More hooks, lots of hooks, lots of little pokey things. Really cool, I love this. Now this one comes with a little spearhead, another arrowhead, more hooks, another saw, more pokies, a little rounded saw. That's actually pretty cool. And then some more hooks and flashers for fishing. I really need to add some fishing line to this as well, actually. I have some here because, I mean, most of my fishing supplies are, well, no. I'm going to add some 30-pound line to this kit later. So imagine fishing line going in here as well. Because you never know. Obviously in a blizzard, you're not going to go fishing. That's not going to be a thing, but, yeah. So more flashers, more saws, little hands, I'm not sure exactly how you're supposed to use those. More arrowheads, tinier hooks. So there's a bunch of different size hooks for different types of fishing. So there's a bunch of those. This one has a fork, some more fishing hooks, another arrowhead, and more flashers. And this one, turn it that way. More fishing stuff, more fishing hooks, a fishing lure kind of thing where you put the hook off the back here, another knife, I'm guessing that's a little flasher as well, and some more little hooks, or not hooks, needles, different types of needles. This one would just rounded hook would be good for if you have to sew up an injury, something like that. Now I think this is the only blade I've seen where they actually honed it down a little bit, but it's still really super dull, so that's not going to do very much good now, is it? So what I also am packing is I have a few of these. This one was mine that I'm donating to the cause. So this right here has a little thing when you want to cut a little indentation right here. So if you need to hone down or sharpen some fish hooks, you just kind of slide them in there and sharpens them. So this thing can be used for sharpening there. And then if you need to sharpen the knives, it's also got the 1 and the 2, the fine and the coarse. So you can actually run some of these blades across this and also help sharpen them, which would probably sharpen a little bit faster than this would. And then fine hone it with this. So that way you can kind of sharpen some of these things as well. And another awesome thing that it has is magnesium stick. So it's got a little fire starter. Swipe it through, start a spark. Add this, you get a nice little spark, you're starting a fire. So these types of things go in my survival kit that I take with me when I go places. So I got tons of these laying around. I will look for the description, or for the Amazon link for this one as well, and try to put that in the description as well, because I absolutely adore this thing. So it's got knife sharpeners. Oh, and I've never had to work this thing. Oh! I've got all of their attention now. Hope I got yours with that one, because that was loud. Ooh. Okay. That one shot straight to my head, so now I'm a little blind. It's also got an emergency whistle. So, really good to have in case of an emergency. Also got a little thing if you want to, you know, hang it from something so you don't lose it. Wow, that hurt my ears. Whew. So I'm going to add this to his kit as well. This one is, these things are not that cheap either. Well, they're semi-cheap, but they're definitely well worth it. I use it all the time for sharpening a lot of my blades that just need a gentle, fine, don't need to sit there and hammer it out on the sharpening stone kind of sharpen. Just a quick little, let's get that razor blade sharpness back on it. That's what I use this for. And for some of my curved blades, like my really nice raptor claw, I call it my raptor claw because it wraps around, like fits in the fingers, and then it comes around the back of the hand, so I call it my little raptor claw. That thing I have to take a little nice fine-tuned thing because you cannot take it on the sharpening stone very well. Well, you probably could, I'm just not that skilled. So This thing works great. It keeps it razor sharp. I absolutely love this thing. So I'm going to add this to the kit as well. I believe that is it for this kit. We've got cooking, we've got, technically we have safety too, because I mean, I guess if you're skilled enough, you might be able to fight a bear off or something with one of these knives. I'm not saying you're going to survive the process, but you know, at least you can take it down with you, right? Just kidding. Don't do that. Walk away slowly. Back up. Do not turn around. Do not run. Back up slowly. Can you handle a bear? You're in their territory. You let them have it. So, now obviously if you're going to make a kit, you want to make one specific for your region, for your purpose, for all those types of things. These are just some ideas that you could probably do. Obviously you want food, you need water, you need ways of cooking food, or you know, even if you were to catch food out in the wild, you still need means of cooking it. So even if everything you pack in your MREs doesn't require being cooked, unlike mine, if everything was just already ready made, just maybe add some hot water. If you're still out there and it's a survival situation, you want a way of being able to catch meat, catch food. You want to know how to forage stuff, all that kind of thing. So you want to kind of add a little bit to that. And of course you need first aid, because who doesn't need first aid? Also, some of this stuff can probably work as a fire starter. Lots of gauze bandages up in here if you're that desperate. Now the key is to learn how to open one of these things. There we go. Apparently it's childproof. Now this isn't a very good one because I think it has an ice pack. Nope, those are bandages. This is the good one. There's an ice pack though. Lots of bandages. This thing would work great as a fire starter. These alcohol. I think they're alcohol. Yes, alcohol things. These are also great for fire starters because obviously very flammable. So there's that. Obviously gloves for protection. Tweezers to pull the bear claws out of you. Ice pack. This one's actually not his, so I will have to open this and take it out, but he's got something similar to this as well. We've got band-aids, all that fun stuff. So some of those can actually work as fire starters as well. Just gotta learn to be creative. I guess this is the exact perfect size for his kit. But if you're making one, say you live in a different region, say you want to keep something in your car in case, you know, your car kind of goes over the edge or something, you need more different types of supplies. You want to customize your kit for your needs, for your specific emergency that you might be preparing for, type of thing. So this one is just for surviving through a blizzard, which many people can still drive through it and it's always fine and nothing ever happens because, you know, they're skilled drivers up here. That never happens to anybody. Even though every time I see a big snowstorm, I see a bunch of cars on the side of the road. But it never happens to nobody. No, this never happens. Ever. So, we're all too good up here for that. Anyways. Now, like I said, not the best prepared. So this zipper is not a friend of mine. When it comes to doing anything. It's going to behave for me on camera today. That's awesome. And now it's got the handles. That's heavy. So now he's got an emergency kit. If you get stuck in a blizzard, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So now he'll have it and hopefully keep not needing it. And as these supplies go, what you do is you pull out some of the MREs and you replace them later on. That way you go through it and you're not stuck here 10 years later with rotten food. You want to kind of, hey, you know, these are going bad, I'll make some more. We can take these out for a picnic, that kind of deal. So that is the plan for these particular things. So he's got everything he might need to survive. He's got extras just in case of other scenarios might pop up. Say he takes the fire thing out in the summer, but he still ends up somehow stuck in the mountains or in the woods or something. He's got a way of surviving. Now this would not be good for mountain survival because who wants to lug this thing around like that? Which is why mine is a backpack, but mine was designed for something completely different. So that's why mine is a backpack, because it's my hiking bag. I just automatically keep my emergency supplies in my hiking bag. And then when I do go hiking, or when I used to go hiking, I can't do that anymore. I just throw some clothes in there and take off. Come back, take out the clothes, change out the foods, that kind of thing. So, and my dog loved it. He loved it. All that free running around in the mountains, just absolutely adored it. Really good. Though he, at 20 pounds, he still thinks he can take on a bear, and he had to learn not to try to do that. But thankfully, my dog is also very well trained, so when I tell him to stop and leave it, he stops. And he backs away, you know, so he's a service dog. He has to be well trained. So, you know, if you're going to let your dogs wander around in the woods like that, and where they're kind of off the leash, you want to make sure you have full 100% control of them verbally. And him is also nonverbal. Usually, stay out of the litter box. He's not coming because he knows he's in trouble. Daily struggles. Okay, he's really well trained, but he still likes to eat out of the litter box. What can I say? He's a dog. Don't let him give you kisses. Come over here. Come here. Come say hi to everybody. Hugs? Okay. Alright. So, always be prepared. Make sure you have everything you need in case of an emergency situation. Because again, it is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And it doesn't make it all doom and gloom because you're prepared for a situation that may or may not happen. It just means that you're smart because you are prepared in case it does. So I also thought about putting in a little battery bank in this in case he needed to charge his phone to call 911, but he got more money than me. He can go by himself. Put it in here. Huh, boo? Yes. Put your paws up here. There you go. Okay. So we're gonna go get that all loaded up. You stay out of the litter box, sir. And so that's it for the day. So just make sure you always have what you need when you need it. Be prepared. And I will definitely post the links to all these things in case some of them might interest any of you. I'm not an affiliate with Amazon. So these are actually things that I use that I like. I'm not paid to like them. I actually bought them. So I paid to like them. So that's why they have my stamp of approval on it, because I actually like these things. I haven't got to use the cards yet, and I actually kind of hope I get to. So I might have to plan one of those trips where I get to actually use these cards. But they do look pretty cool, and they look like they, you know, would come in handy in case of an emergency situation. So I will definitely add that link just in case anybody else wants to also give it a try. And if somebody does give it a try, please let me know how it worked out for you and everything like that. So you guys have a good one, and I will catch you next time.